Hello guys, and welcome to another weekly vlog. Sorry, I'm just trying to get the car seat that's like rucked up underneath me folded. I don't think I've recorded this week. This fucking car seat cover keeps coming off the seat. Right, I don't think I've recorded anything this week, so welcome to a new weekly vlog. I can move you because it's just me today. Why does this keep turning around? It's doing my head in. Stop it. It's my Ouija necklace that Kelly and Dave bought me for Christmas. Isaac wants it. He really likes it. It's like, you're not having it. But I can buy him something similar. Right. Just going into my mum's. Have to call at the library first to give back her audiobooks. Really shy audiobooks. Sunflower Street, Daughter of the Sea, and something else. The Wild Card, none of which she listened to. I think she listened to one CD of the three. Like each has got maybe 6 to 10 CDs, and she listened to one CD of one thing. So, oh, there's another house just up. Let's see if I can turn you around so you can see. You see the red one there? So they're building that at the minute, and then you can see the scaffolding just to the right with a wee man on it. They're building another one. There's so many houses. There's a wee man doing a bit of digging at that fence. There's so many houses in there. Yeah, I think there's 52 houses going in there as far as I'm aware. Right, there's somebody parked on the fucking, what are they doing? No idea. Parked. There must be a house for sale, because you know when people are like, you're like, what are you doing? Why aren't you moving? And they're just like in the middle of the street you're looking. They're probably looking to see where them houses are, you know. So, yeah, into my mum's. I doubt she'll be up to going out because she's not great at the minute. The carers in been really patronising on Friday. Right, wait till you hear this one. Jesus Christ. So, my mum has trouble with not going, like, constipation. A long story short, my dad says, oh, I gave her one of them Dulcolax and then another in a couple of days. And he went to get them out, and I'm like, they're fucking suppositories. He'd only been giving me mum suppositories. I says, how the hell has she swallowed that? I says, was it not a clue with how hard it was to open? Was there foil wrapped? And the size of it? Oh, well, I just thought they were big suppositories. So he won't do it, so I had to put a suppository in on Sunday night, which thankfully worked eventually. But the carers were being so fucking patronising about everything, it was doing my fucking head in. And one of them said they're talking about giving her Laxido, which is like this powder you mix with water and you're supposed to take it a couple of times a day. But if my mum has too much of that sort of stuff, she has runs. And with how disabled she is, we can't get her to the bathroom quick enough. But they were saying, oh, she has to be having this every morning. And then one turned to the other and says, well, if he's lying in his bed, one of us is going to... And I thought to myself, excuse me. My dad is not a well person. He has just recently had brain surgery. He's got ME, he's got fibro, he's got arthritis, he's got COPD. He's not very well if he's lying in his bed. Yeah, because the carers come in the morning at like 8:30. So yes, he is still lying in his bed, a 70-year-old man that's not in good health. But I thought it was such a fucking cheek if he's still lying in his bed. So, I was going to say, oh no, well we can give that. I said, well, head office said if the medication's not in a blister pack, they won't give it. Oh, well no, we can't fit that in a blister pack, it's too large. I says, no, that's not what I'm saying. I said, they said unless it's medication that comes in that blister pack, proper medication, they won't give little bits and pieces of this or that. Like if my mum wanted a painkiller because she had a headache, the carers aren't allowed to give them a painkiller. Something small, like, you know, if it's not her official medication that she's on all the time, the carers will not give it. Oh yes they will, oh yes they will, you just have to phone and ask. And it's like, and then they say things like, oh well, she needs XYZ, and I says, well, I'm not here all the time, and I says, I don't know whether or not she's going to the toilet. And my dad sometimes doesn't even know. Well, I always write it in the book. I said, you might well do. I says, but everyone else doesn't. I said, it's very confusing for us when we're told by head office one thing and then you're telling us something else, and all of you do your job completely differently. Well, one of you will write something down, another won't bother. So I was close to really losing my rag, because they were being really condescending and trying to insinuate that we weren't doing everything we should be doing. And it's like, I'm only there like it used to be 3 times a week, now it's maybe a bit more, but you know, it's like going in to visit for a few hours is not the same as being there the whole day. And I don't know when she hasn't gone to the toilet. So I would have to read through 6 entries every single day by every single carer to try to work out if my mum had gone to the toilet, rather than one of them just say to my dad, look, this is a bit of a concern, she still hasn't been. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm going to stop whinging, but I mean, it really pissed me off. So she did go to the toilet. They'll be in today. Oh, I see it work then. It's like, you know, when people that very, I don't mean this to sound in any way, no, I do mean this to sound patronising actually. You know how do I put this without making myself sound like a dickhead? If this sounds like a dickhead, I apologise. You know when you're talking to someone that is very clearly a significant amount of IQ points below yourself, and they're trying to patronise you about something, and you're thinking, Lord, if I actually gave you a bit of fucking home truths right now, you'd be leaving that room crying. But I can't, because it's, you know, I can't be falling out with my mum's carers because they're needed, etc, etc. But say for somebody to come in and have the audacity to say something like, well, if he's lying in his bed, that is proper unprofessional. And the same girl, and I maybe mentioned this before, the same girl came in previously a few months ago talking about another client that they had and bitching about their carer, as in their next of kin, their husband, their wife. And I've told them this, and if they don't get them to the toilet, that woman did it, or if they don't get them to the hospital, that blah blah, and they need to do this, and I've told him and he's not doing it. Full conversation in front of me. Darren and Isaac were probably there, my mum and dad, about another client. And I'm like, right, you don't want to be doing or saying anything in front of that woman, because she's going to go straight to another house and tell everybody all your business. And the other one that was with her is the one that's the know-it-all that broke my mum's chair, that thinks she knows everything about everything. She thinks she's a doctor. It's like, it's that thing where my temper's going to get to the point where it's going to blow at them. Because I do not appreciate being patronised by people that probably would struggle to get through a GCSE examination. I don't appreciate it. This is going to sound fucking awful. Carers, they're always looking for carers because nobody wants to do the job, because it's really difficult and it's really underpaid, and it's one of the easiest jobs to get. So if you're a carer and you're not doing it for your love for the job, which some people do, and they're fabulous and they're born to do it and they're really good at it, these 2 women don't fulfill that criteria. You're doing that job, love, because you can't get another fucking job. Because if you could, you would take it. Because they're not fans of hard work. They're not particularly, you know, diligent. They don't come across like they enjoy their job. They're miserable all the time. And they're standing trying to patronise me and make comments about my dad being in bed in the morning at 8:30. It just boils my piss, to be quite honest with you. But anyway, let's not talk about that. So I may today go to see Wolfman, although everybody I know that's seen it says it's fucking awful, apart from one person who said it's okay, it's not too bad. I haven't heard anyone say, oh, that was really good. But in saying that, I have been to see movies that, right, The Crow remake as an example, I really enjoyed it, I'll be honest with you. And everyone other than one other girl that I know, who me and her would tend to have me and her don't like romance things. We don't like, you know, like chick flicks, romantic, all that shit. We're just not really into that kind of thing. But The Crow remake was it totally spoke to both of us. It's our sort of idea of a romantic movie. yeah, okay, it's full of death, destruction, and it's sad and it's horrific and stuff, but it worked for both of us as a romance. But everyone else fucking hated it. So Wolfman is a remake of the Lauren Chaney one. Is it Lauren Chaney? Anyway, so it's not getting the best reports, but I may go see it after I leave my mum's today, because I feel like all I've watched this year, I must remember to go to the library. I usually, it would be normal for me to watch a film a day. I'll watch it in bed. I go to bed at like about midnight and I'll watch a film before I go to sleep. But I have only watched about 4 movies this entire year, and 2 of them were yesterday. I went to see Nosferatu on New Year's Day. I watched a one with Kieran Culkin and Jesse Eisenberg called A Real Pain. And last night I watched the 1922 Nosferatu and the 1979 Nosferatu because I wanted to compare them all. The 1979 one was fucking awful. But I'm in the minority there with that because everyone else seems to think it's fantastic. It was awful. The 1922 one. I used to say it was my favourite vampire movie. I've changed my mind. I do really like it. I think it's much, much better than the 1922 or the 1979 version, but I don't like it as much as I remembered liking it first time. You know, I enjoyed it, but it's not like, it's not my favourite vampire movie anymore. So they've still to make my favourite vampire movie. I know what I want. It's like, I want 30 Days a Night type vampires. I want really horrible, fast moving, vicious, nasty vampires, but a little bit more of a story. Let the Right One In is the closest I've got to what I want in a vampire movie. I want a good story with really good characters, but I also want a level of nastiness. I don't want to see romanticized vampires. I don't want to see any of that sparkling vampires, although I quite like that when I first saw it. I have to be honest, I did quite like Twilight for my sins. But I just want to see a horrific vampire with a good character story as well. Anyway, I'll go because I'm waffling shite at you again. So I'll go to the library, go to my mum's, and if I go to see, if I go to see Wolfman, I will do a review for my other channel because I'm doing precious little for it at the minute. And I shall speak to you guys later. Hello, it is Thursday. Can I show you what? I've got a saw hair clip, you probably can't see it. Isaac and Darren have gone into town. Isaac's off school today. There's preparation for open night going on tomorrow. We have Storm Eowyn, I think it's said. Red warning, risk to life from 7 AM to 2 PM. Then amber warning until 9 PM. And scouts are tomorrow evening, and the district leader's wanting us to go ahead because the red warning ends at 2. I live rurally around loads of trees. Not entirely happy. So I'm going to show you my badges. So I've just had an order from Glasgow Scout Shop. I bought a new little holder. Let me show you. The lighting is terrible. Oh, is that my flashes? Come on. Oh, it is. So this is the current one that I use. That's some badges that have just arrived. I have bought a smaller one of those, as you can see, which I am taking badges out of this little one. This is double-sided, so like that one, you can get badges in both sides. So I'm transferring all of these, are called staged badges. If you notice, every badge has got a little number on the bottom. So these are emergency first aid ones, so the explorers share these. So we should have a lot more than what we actually have. So I am putting them into a bigger, you know, there's like, this starts at A for Air Force and goes here to hikes, level 2 hikes, then hikes, and then it's music badges there, and then the other side starts like it's something like nights away. These are all little ones that have to go, where's that little, there it is, Dobby's sitting on it. Dobby's not feeling very well today. These are called joining in awards. What they actually are, they've all got a number on them. Oh, Now this is number 1. So when you've been in Scouts for a year, you get that one, and then obviously 6 years. These are Assistant Patrol Leader stripes, and I should have a couple of Patrol Leader stripes somewhere as well, which I'm not seeing, which is concerning me a little bit, but we shall worry about that when we get to it. So yeah, I have to log all this stock on the system, check it all off. I have a ton of badges in there as well, get them sorted out. Yeah, that's the job for the next hour or so. I shall get into it.
10 a.m. tomorrow until 2 p.m.
Listen to this, folks.
Schools will be closed, traffic and travel disrupted, and some medical
I've been round to gathering batteries, or sorry, power banks and candles and torches. It's the first red weather warning ever in Northern Ireland. It's supposed to be winds of 100 miles an hour and possibly more. It's going to cause infrastructure damage, trees are going to come down, which is awesome when you live in a rural area surrounded by trees. So there we go. Storm Eowyn. Why do they have to give them such weird fucking names? Let's see what she says. Where's my 90 inland? Well, we're near the coast.
And do take care.
Let's hear what they say. There it is. Eowyn.
Slowly pushing in there. It's a deepening area of low pressure. Along with the winds, we also have quite a lot of heavy rainfall and some sleet and snow.
Fabulous.
On the leading edge.
Rain and snow, great. Wind's not enough.
Again, with a yellow warning in place through.
There we are. See where it says Ballymena?
Then we have this band of rain sweeping up.
That's me. Well, we're actually to the east of that, near the coast. Ballymena is where my parents live. We're between the 7 of... Oh, it's gone. We're about 2 o'clock from where it's the dot of Ballymena is.
Sweeping through some sleet and snow in the mix there too, brightening up into the afternoon. The winds that feature tomorrow, 100 miles per hour around exposed coastal areas, 80 to 90 miles per hour, especially through tomorrow morning's commute if you are heading out.
All the schools are closed here by law, so every school is shut. A little bit of Scotland has got the same warning, so there you go. I'm charging my power banks. I've got 4, just in case they say there's like a massive, turn that down a bit now. They say that there's really high chance of power lines to go down, electricity to go out, internet, all that good stuff. So I've got my power banks charging, so at least we'll have our phones. But if the phone lines go down, we'll not even have that. So we shall see. So folks, yes, I'm in my pit. It is about midnight on Thursday night. The wind has got up a bit and the rain started coming down. So I think the storm has the storm hasn't hit properly yet, but the weather has definitely turned. It's got really windy, and a second ago before I put this on, it was really hammering the wind off my windows, or the rain. And of course now that I've put this on, it's not going to fucking do it, is it? Right, night folks, I've got my candles, my power banks, my torches and my lighter and everything to light my candles all set, just in case. See, it started again now. This is what it was doing. Scary potatoes. It has started. We're straight onto a big mountain. There's no houses between us. There's like, it comes right down like the hill, and we're the first line of houses. So that's a bit scary potatoes. I'm getting Darren to move the car from our driveway because before a slate fell off the roof on top of our car. So he's moving it to outside the front of the house. So if any slates come off, they're not going to hit it. I am now going to watch the new season, the first episode of Celebrity Help My House is Haunted, which is Dom Jolly. And yeah, hopefully we don't lose power tomorrow. Hello, it is Saturday. I haven't recorded all week because we've been in because we had Storm Eowyn. I think I recorded a little bit of the noise of the wind, but that's before it proper kicked off. It was no damage to our house at all. I'm going to turn you around and let you see. You won't see most of it because it's down the road, but all of the like boarding for the new housing development, loads of it is blown down. Let me turn you around. As you can see, we've got a bit of snow on the windscreen, so, and it's still de-steaming a bit, but you can see there to the, can you see there? No, you can't. All to the right, which you can't see. So look at that, all torn down, all the way down the road. Darren filmed it earlier. There's a little bit there, and that house, I don't know what's come down there. Is it a fence? I feel this is closer than it should be. This camera, I don't feel it's usually this close, but anyway, Isaac's going down to Daniel's, no he's not, to Callum's house for some D&D. I'm just popping up to Asda in Antrim because I've seen some traitor pyjamas online and I want to try and get them. Traitors. I know one of you that was watching it, which is Suze. I love traitors. There's a new one. Suze, if you don't know, there's a New Zealand one on the BBC iPlayer, a new one, and the new American one, season 3. Half of it is on iPlayer, so I started it last night. I don't like the fact when the American one, they always use like semi-celebrities, you know, from like Desperate Housewives and Survivor and stuff like that. I prefer it being just Joe Blogs, average person. But yeah, Traitors ended last night. Who I wanted to win didn't win. I won't say in case any of you intend to watch it, but there was someone specifically that I really wanted to see succeed that didn't, and I seem to be quite on my own with that because most people wanted other people to win, but yeah. I feel like there's, you know, you look places and you think that was higher. This fence, I don't remember being able to see right into that field before. Not fence, hedge. Right, I'll switch you off because we're just going to drop Isaac off now. My left eye is real. I don't know my left and my right. My left eye is really bothering me. I feel like I've got grit in it. It had stopped and now it started again, which is fabulous when we're just out of the house. Right, I'll switch you off. I'll let you know if I get my pyjamas later on. Okay, I got my pyjamas. They were £16. It says faithful all around the neck, but the front of it, I'm a traitor. And it's short sleeve, and then the bottom's pretty cool. They have other ones that are mostly sort of like light blue. The dogs are trying to get through the door. And it says I'm a faithful, but I obviously like these ones. It does say faithful around the neck of this one. So yeah, Darren's coming through the door now.
Oh, right.
So a successful trip for my pajamas. I'll show you our pictures on the wall. They look nice against the black, the bright colours. You can't see him because there's a light shining on him, but you get the drift. There it is. There's Dobby. Dobby hasn't been well for a couple of days. She's had an upset tummy, but today was vet day and she's right as rain again.
She says, woo, woo, woo.
Go on, you know you want to. She's dying to do it. Hello. And I'm closing off the vlog for the week. I'm hoping this is a really short week because I recorded very little this week to my memory. It's very cold. It is, as you can probably hear, raining quite badly. There was black grit in that rain. Do you think that's blown off the garage roof?
It's that moss stuff that blows up.
Just going into my mum's. Is there anything else to tell you? No, Isaac was just away yesterday. A D&D day.
Almighty ticket as well.
District leader of Scouts Eugene sent a text this morning saying he wants to have a Zoom meeting with all the leaders this week. it's obviously going to be to discuss the fact that Francis has stepped back as troop leader, and he's going to want to divvy up what she does amongst everyone else, but nobody wants to take section leader, so Eugene might find himself having to do it. But the problem is Eugene is over the Cubs, he helps with the explorers, so it'll be a bit, you know what I mean, but I shan't be doing it. Happy to help with behind the scenes stuff, as in admin stuff and stuff at the hall, and days away if it's not something really physical, fine. But yeah. Can you think of anything else this week? Have any note that I need to share? Or Traitor's finished, I think I spoke about that, but I can't speak about it in case you want to watch it and you haven't seen. If you have never watched Traitors, give it a go, it's really good. I never watched it, and my dad happened to mention that he really liked it, and I thought that so isn't the sort of thing I would expect my dad to watch, so I thought, well, we'll see, and I am like addicted. I started watching the Hungarian one last night. It's really hard to get. There's like a there's probably about 20 different versions of different countries, like Germany, Sweden, Norway, they're like all over. I've seen all the English speaking ones, I think, but there's a thing on the internet called the Traitors Archive or something like that, where someone has, like, certain countries are available, but it's the method that you have to use to watch it's really confusing, and it took me quite a while to work it out, and then the subtitles are all separate, and I eventually worked it out, so I've got the Hungarian one to watch now. So that's good. I'm sure Darren's sick of the sight of it, but there you are. He sleeps through when I watch it at night anyway. Nothing else this week? No. Let's hope we can go in today and nothing else eventful has happened in at my mum. Right, are you ready for the timing of that? What was the last word I just said? Hopefully we can go in and there's nothing else. As I said the words, nothing else, my phone rang and it was the carer's head office. My mum's got another infection. I don't know what was that, Andrea or someone else?
Work out what it was.
It didn't ring through the car. For some reason my phone's not connected. Yeah, it's always on. I never switch it on or off. It didn't come through, so I don't know what that's all about. But nothing we can do till tomorrow, and all we can do is request more antibiotics and trying to get through to actually. No, actually, there's a separate prescription line, isn't there? And you just leave a message.
Yeah, but when you leave the message, then they work through them, so they take them all down.
Yeah.
Where you speak to them, they can send it down straight away.
It's an absolute ball ache. One day Darren phoned for something, and how many 100 and something calls it took you?
Yeah, 107
to get through to speak to someone, and they're advertising for a new receptionist at the minute, which means that they're short staffed. So
and then she tried to argue with me that they couldn't send it down that way, so I educated her on the job.
So another, it's just constant infections. So, but that's the nature of the illness. There's never a week, never, where something doesn't. And if it was as easy as, oh, we'll just phone here and get antibiotics, but the problem is you phone and they say, oh, well, it's going to be 72 hours before the prescription's going to be ready. And if you have someone that's frail, as it is, still recovering from the last thing, that's now got another urinary tract infection, you can't wait 72 hours to start the antibiotics. And there's nothing you can do to, look at that telephone line's all lit up. There's nothing you can do to prevent it either. You know, you'd think, oh, is there nothing you can do? There isn't, because my mum's been having, I actually started this year and I'm going to keep it. I've tried to do it before and I've got waylaid and not done it. I'm starting to keep a log of all the infections and, you know, requests for separate medication for other reasons, so that I've got a good overview of how often she's getting infections. So but they keep phoning me, and my dad will be in. Surely my dad's up at this time. It's 1:45. well, he'll not sleep in them.
No, but I mean, if he's up, he should have his hearing.
But they've obviously decided now to tell me because he probably goes alright and doesn't do anything. That's my guess. But it's nothing we can do until tomorrow, and the issue is because we can't, there's like a prescription line, and like Darren says, they work through them, and then when they eventually get to your prescription, they're just going to go through the normal 72 hours. So you're forced to have to phone until you actually speak to someone, and depending on who you speak to, have an actual argument about the fact you need it early, and that could take over 100 telephone calls. It's manic. I don't know why, but you know, we never used to have, years ago there was never this issue. I don't know if it's because the younger generation are more on the phone to the doctors. It's,
went from, what was it, 3,000 to 16,000?
yeah, no, I think it was 12. Or doctor's surgery combined with another one. And the patient load went up 4 times, like from 3,000 something to 12,000 and something. But obviously that should be the doctors from both surgeries working together. I don't know, but I think it's, you know, a lot of the issues, a lot of people say immigrants, all this, you know, and while we may have more immigrants than we had, I think it's an aging population. People are living much longer than they ever did. I mean, when I was a kid, my granddad died when he was 70, 71, and people would say things like, oh well, he had a good innings. Someone dying at 70 now seems quite young to me. My dad's just turned 70, my mum will be 70 in July. Darren's dad's in his late 70s, so someone, that's really noisy, I do apologise, someone dying at 70 is like, oh my god. So now the hospitals and the doctors are full of people in their like 80s and 90s, you know, with various conditions because they're frailer, so they're harder hit by things. Dementia's become a real issue. Again, is that because of an aging population, or is there some reason dementia's more prevalent? I don't know. But it's got to the point that the country is at breaking point, and something needs to change to accommodate the fact that we are an older population. There you are. Power lines are down all over the place here, thankfully. Ours isn't. There's one of the wee lads' mums in Scouts that texted, she was sort of making a joke. Last night she sent a message, oh, power's been down for 36 hours so far, and we've managed to stay warm and keep fed, blah blah blah. Is there a badge for that? I think she was actually serious. She thought that there was going to be a badge her son could get. Oh, there's more trees all down over there, look. Somebody's cut them up into bits. But there's a load of trees down, a load of power lines down. Thankfully we haven't really been affected. The guy's coming out tomorrow. I don't know if I told you. He's coming out tomorrow to look at our fence, which was damaged. I think it was Storm Kathleen, actually it was called, and it was over at least 6 months ago, wasn't it? And they're coming, he suggested they were coming out on Friday, on the day that it was danger to life to leave the house. And Darren's like, are you serious? You're coming out on the day of this storm?
Panel fence.
Well, obviously then they saw sense and says, all right, no, we'll not be out till Monday.
Yeah, his boss told him.
A lot of places here, like the schools, all shut, like by law. Super, all like Tesco, Lidl, Sainsbury's got a power cut and it had to close longer, and the traffic lights all around that area all went down. So quite a few people have been, oh, the little dog, have been affected. So right, I'm just pulling up outside my mum's now. Thank you for watching this week. Next week, what is that up that tree? It's just a tree. It's Darren's birthday on Thursday. And this Zoom meeting is only things at the minute next week. So I shall catch up with you guys next week. Over and out from Kit and Komodo.